Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Thank you to each of the witnesses for being here this morning. Voluntary education programs serve as an important role in developing America's service members while in uniform and setting them up for success following a military career. In my home state of Texas, thousands of soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines utilize these key benefits across all 15 of our military installations. Those who wish to develop and further develop themselves personally and professionally should be afforded the opportunity to do so with the education benefits that they were promised by the government. The tuition assistance program is far too important to lack accountability and oversight within the Department of Defense. It is of utmost importance that we ensure that our men and women that serve have as many higher education opportunities as possible, whether they are offered by for-profit institutions or private or public nonprofit institutions. I guess the most important question that I would ask the witnesses here is a very simple one. What went wrong here? What happened that led to this decision being made in what appears, I think, to most, if not all observers, in a rash and ill-considered manner?
So, Senator, first of all, I didn't hear anything in your description of the program that I disagree with. I would affirm what you said about our responsibility to the soldiers and the utility of this program. I think it's a vitally important program, and I think you described it accurately. In terms of what happened here, I divided it into two categories, one of which I agree with Senator McCain and one of which I disagree with the Chairman, just to be honest about it.
The latter is always perilous in this committee.
It is, and I understand that, sir. I believe that there were some substantive violations on the part of the University of Phoenix, which Ms. Barna and Ms. Bilodeau were reacting to in good faith and when they put the institution on probation. However, in answer to your question, what went wrong, I think that the process was, as I put it, crappy, as Senator McCain, the Chairman, put it.
Now, is that a technical military term?
That was a technical military error on my behalf in naming the Chairman, yes, sir. The process was lousy. We did not give the University of Phoenix advance notice that they were going to be put on probation and an opportunity to respond. So they were put in a position where they were already on probation and forced to respond in that status rather than being warned and having an opportunity to respond in advance. I don't believe that's the way we should treat institutions like that. If it created the damage that Senator McCain caused, that's on us, and we shouldn't have done it. So that's what went wrong.
Well, let me ask, aside from the fairness to one particular institution, what about the over 9,000 current service members in the TA program that have made the decision to attend the University of Phoenix? What about them? What consideration was given to them?
Ms. Barna has described how we took measures to protect them and ensure that they could continue to get the education, continue to work with University of Phoenix during the time the university was on probation. So thought was given to that. I don't think that makes this a fair process. I think we should have given notice and we should have given an opportunity to comment.
Well, and I guess my point would be, if you've got over 9,000 service members that have made the decision that they like what University of Phoenix is offering and they think it's beneficial to them personally, professionally, shouldn't they be entitled to make that decision? And what about the next service members who might make that decision that we're being told that option's not going to be available to you?
So I believe that our service members go into this program because they want to better themselves. They go in for the right reasons. But this is a program where we have 2,700 education institutions involved in it. Some of them are better than others. And we, as the Department of Defense, don't really have good information on which ones are better than others. Some of them appear to have been engaging in inappropriate practices, and we feel it's our obligation to protect our students and to protect the taxpayer from that. We need a better process to do that with, and we're going to work to improve our process.
Well, thank you for your candor in terms of the mistakes that were made here. Thank you for being here. And let me suggest some principles going forward that may be beneficial. And I would put right at the top of that list, protecting freedom of choice of our servicemen and women, that they are in a position to make judgments about what's best for themselves and their careers. And there's certainly a legitimate role in preventing fraud and deception, but there's no, as I understand it, no serious allegations of that. But short of that, I would just encourage you to protect servicemen and women's freedom of choice.
Senator, and I appreciate that. I think we should. What I would like to be in a better position to do than I am is to provide service members with advice as to quality of institution. We don't have that expertise. We don't have objective benchmarks, and we need to be better. We need to have better information that we can provide our service members to inform the choices that they make. We shouldn't be making choices for them, but the more information and better information we can provide them, the better off they'll be.
Given the many challenges facing this country on the national security front, I'm not sure it should be a top priority of DOD to become an expert on educational institutions rather than simply entrusting individuals to make those
So,
determinations.
Senator, I agree with you. It's not our, as I started out by saying earlier today, that's not our wheelhouse. We're not the ones to do that, but it would be nice, it would be helpful to us if those who are in that business would develop systems that would help us provide that information.
Thank you.
Senator Shaheen.